Hello, here we are in Phillip Island, Melbourne, Australia, in the Formula Renault. Fantastic track, high speed, flowing, difficult. Let's go look at what is my fastest lap so far. I did a 26.9 right now. I did a couple of races earlier on. So far my fastest lap was a 27.1. I just did 26.9 and that's the lap we'll be looking at. So first, into the main straightaway, approaching turn one, we barely get to the rev limiter. That is the balance to be taken in with here at Phillip Island. A lot of high-speed corners, so you want to carry downforce, but if you do, you have too much drag in the long straightaways and you're going fast all along, so you really need to find the happy medium. And the rule of thumb is I need enough downforce that I'm almost flat into turn one. Actually, I am flat later when everything is warm, but it's difficult, it's delicate, and you need to be flat in the last two turns leading onto the back straightaway. Now you want to turn in, and you see the compression of turn one here, just before the curb. You want to have a sharp turn in, utilizing the stiffness of the car to get on and to load the car in this area, which is where there is the positive camber of the track. If you are further on the outside, you're never going to come back. And then you can feel the G-loads through the steering wheel, you can hold the car in and then come back to the right so that you can set up turn two, massively difficult. You get to basically, you need to aim, this Marshall box is just about where you need to tighten your hands to get to the apex. You can see right now, we're in positive camber still, we're going up the hill, but then just as we approach here, we have a crest. Sorry, it's not this Marshall box, it's the next one. I never see the first one. It's the second Marshall box, the 2-1. And you see right now, I need to get over that crest and then get to the apex just about here. That's where that is. There's the apex. And I need to retain until I see the end of this curb. I visually check. Once I see the end of the curb, I know I am free. I can start to track out. Now it's very difficult to find a happy medium between the diff, the downforce and the shocks, so that the car doesn't just understeer out here. You'll see a lot of guys who they just understeer, and of course because they're in the sim, they add a huge amount of steering wheel and they get away with it. But it shouldn't work, and it's difficult to work on the programs that it is correct. Maximize the radius all the way out to the exit. If you're not precise at track out, not precise at apex, you may get away with this corner, but you will be down a couple kilometers an hour down all the way into this long back straightaway. Difficult braking zone here. You see, I'll be braking just before the 100-meter board. Let's get rid of the paps. There we go. I'm still on the gas. I'm still on the gas. Boom. I just went to brakes and you see the 100 meters right behind the mirror here. That's the line. So basically 110 meters. The problem is that as you approach, just before turning in, the track just falls off. Another off camber. Just there, you turn on top of the crest and then you see it from there on falls off. So that will require a massive amount of trail braking. You need to keep the load on the front of the car as you go over. And you see I'm still on the brakes, now I'm off. The car is still slowing down, 54, 53, 52, which allows me to keep adding some steering. 51, minimum speed 50, I'm reading this over here, 50, 49, now I pick up the gas, now watch my hands, this is maximum steering, precise at the apex, and the problem is, you can see this little dip. The track wants to fall off before it starts going uphill again. So I will need to be very precise with how I steer out, opening up the hands very, very quickly. Watch it, goes, open, boom, almost straight, and out, track out, free the car. Next corner, it's a little bit of the opposite, where you catch positive camber and you'll be going up the hill. So you'll be able to get away and be aggressive with throttle early with still some steering on the way in. So I get here, I'm still on the brakes. I'll be coming off the brakes very early. That's a downshift blip. I'm off the brakes, no more trail braking from this point here, which is very early in the corner. I'll go to a little bit of gas and off. I reload, as I call it, and then turn a little bit more, off the gas again, minimum speed going down, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, and now I pick up the gas. Now you'll see that my hands will not open nearly as sharply as they did on the previous corner, because you can see the uphill. The front end is getting loaded by the topography of the track, so I gain grip. And see, I open up my hands, but it's smooth. Very careful with this curb. This curb is slightly off camber, and it really wants to suck you out. If you stay there on the gas, a lot of people end up in this wall here. And even if you don't, well, you're not going to put the power down very well in this uphill straightaway all the way through. It's not straight. There is a couple of bends through there, but it's fast flowing. You'll be getting either up to 7th gear or 6th gear. I was going to 7th right now. Not much wind in this. But sometimes because of the wind, you do not go, you just stay in 6th. 2 downshifts to 5th. And again, you see, you're already on the rise, you're uphill. But you see the inflection of the track, the compression, and it goes uphill, uphill, uphill. And then where the Marshall box is, it will start to go down the hill. Very difficult corner to set up. 2 apexes here. Well, 1 long, 1 more. You want to go here, back to some power, and precise where that Marshall box is. Again, you want to be on top on the crest, you want to be on the left side, and you want to be thinking about straightening out the hands because you know the braking is coming. Well, you don't know yet. There it is. There is the 50-meter board. I did all of my loading on the uphill. I will now be working on making the car straight so that I can brake. You see my steering wheel straightening it out? It is, and I just went to brakes. But it's key. You see I go here, steering wheel is straight, no brakes yet. Then I dive on the brakes just before the 50-meter board. Technically, I probably could be braking at 50, but because of the jump, I cannot. Because again, the topography, the geography, the way the terrain is on this track, it dictates what you end up doing rather than the lines. You need to be on the brakes before it so that the load is on the front and it wraps around and stays on the road. And very, very straight. Now again, another corner where I come in on the downhill and then positive camber and uphill on the exit. So that will give me massive forgiveness on the front end. The car will want to turn more. I can carry a massive amount of speed in. Very little trail braking. See, I'm off the brakes. I'm carrying steering. Speed is still going down. I'm probably going to add some more, 52, 51. I'm actually picking up the gas now, but the speed is still going down. It's going back up again. But again, this is the perfect example. You can see how much compression I have. So now I'm picking up a lot of grip, which allows me, against all rules, to maintain steering and add throttle and get away with it for a split second. And then open up. Whoop, compression is over. The car will go now to level, so I need to very quickly go to open hands. Right there. Now from there on, these last 2 corners need to be flat. You need to work on the car. A lot of work with the diff here because it's such a long sustained corner to be able to make it and to be free. Also springs and shocks, and of course the aero balance is key. There too, this last corner, you see the really huge load going through, but this all should be flat. Okay, so that's 1 lap around Phillip Island. Now I'm going to run the video, no commentary, just for you to see the flow. Again, this will be 26.9, which is my fastest lap so far. It's pretty good. And yeah, there you go. Have fun, learn from it. I'll try to bring the headset so we can hear from it. And there we go. there you go. Again, I hope this was helpful. Phillip Island, enjoy racing, fantastic racetrack, respect each other, give each other room, have some fun, happy racing.